Alright, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Salem's Lot, 1979. I'm giving this one 5 out of 5 stars. I love this flick. It's actually a television movie. The Netflix DVD is missing 17 minutes. Just to let you know, I don't know what they did to this disc, but I would have preferred to see 3 hours and 20 minutes as opposed to 3 hours and 3 minutes. But I still love this movie. It's a vampire flick. It's sort of like what Dark Shadows would have looked like had Dan Curtis not run out of ideas. It's based on the book by the same name, written by Stephen King back in 1975. Became a television movie 4 years later, and great little gothic vampire horror story going there. So this guy with the English accent shows up in his black suit at Salem's Lot, which used to be called Jerusalem's Lot before they gained independence from the British. Now it's called Salem's Lot. And the dude's like serving his master, the ugliest looking vampire you ever saw. And this vampire made me jump. Movie even freaked out my son. He wanted to watch it, but he was freaked out by it, so he told me to turn it off. I said why? And he just sort of blocked the Chromebook sideways up against my portable DVD player at Starbucks, but then he kept peeking over it. So I don't know, cool flick. This writer dude decides he wants to go back to his hometown, Salem's Lot, which he finds is inhabited by vampires. So he becomes a vampire hunter along with this kid who's into like Lon Chaney werewolf Boris Karloff Frankenstein. He's got the posters in his room, and then he's got like a ghoul mask and a werewolf mask, all kinds of cool spooky stuff in his room. He's into monsters and magic, and he becomes a second vampire hunter because he wants to get revenge for the vampires killing his parents. And so the vampire guardian dude, he opens up an antique shop. It's like a front for his vampire side gig, and he lives in this spooky house, which the writer Ben, which is also my name, he's like a left-wing guy who doesn't want nuclear power, according to the sheriff who runs an FBI check on him. And he finds a young gal there. I think he's in his 30s, and the gal is in her 20s. So they start like dating and hanging out. And he tells her to get out of town, but she doesn't listen for some reason unknown. She decides to go into the spooky house. She gets she gets caught, of course, and she becomes a vampire. So they burn the they find the vampire's coffin, the writer and the kid, right at the crack of nightfall, and the writer dude sticks a stake in the master vampire's chest, and he looks all crumpled up and gone. So the other vampires want to get revenge on him. That's pretty much the end of the movie. Yeah, my son said it was creepy. The master vampire made me jump when I first saw him. Pretty cool makeup. It's directed by Tobe Hooper. Poltergeist, Texas Chainsaw Massacre fame. Also did Eaten Alive, which is a great flick with what's his name? Anyways, I love this flick. I thought it was. I don't know why Dan Curtis ran out of ideas and he stopped doing Dark Shadows. All of a sudden, he started doing horror movies. He could have just continued Dark Shadows and skipped the horror movies, but like Trilogy of Terror. Then he did a Dracula movie with Jack Palance, I think. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Some of those are kind of rehashed ideas from Dark Shadows, but I guess he thought something new when he came up with Trilogy of Terror. Karen Black, which I do have in my Netflix queue, by the way. I have not seen it. And so pretty cool stuff. I enjoyed this flick very much. Highly recommended. Check it out, and I'll see if there's any trailer or free movie or paid movie on YouTube. I'll post a link in the description box later.